Hi there, Dan from Valley Outdoors here, and if you're watching this video, you've hired a canoe with Valley Outdoors to go for an expedition out in Kangaroo Valley, and you're wanting to know a little bit more about how to pack your barrel once you arrive and you've received it on the day. What we recommend is having all of your equipment ready to be taken out of the bag and into the barrel to make sure that it's packed effectively and in order to make sure that everything fits as easily as possible, making your process of departure a lot smoother on the morning that you leave. The first part of the process is looking at the barrel itself. This will be one of the types of barrels you receive. They will more or less be a variation of this. They have a limited opening space for you to put everything in them. So you will need to place individual items in them as opposed to having a big bag that you can just throw in there. The next thing to note is that while the barrels are pretty waterproof, there are variations in how much water it can keep out depending on how tight you do up the lid or how old things are, and it's not necessarily designed to be fully submerged for a long period of time. So because of that, we need to add some additional waterproofing, which is good practice for any type of dry storage out on the river. The next step is to line your barrel with garbage bags that are larger than the barrel itself. You should use multiple layers of bags, as this will ensure that even if one bag fails, your gear will still remain dry. The end result should look like the lining of a bin. Next up, it's time to start packing our barrel. Start with your sleeping bag and sleeping mat. If you have anything like pots that can be put around the larger items, this will help a lot with the actual packing of your bag and allowing maximum space in the barrel. While packing these bulkier items, ensure to make sure they are standing up vertically to allow maximum space, as they may not fit side on in the barrel comfortably. We recommend at the start of your trip that you put your tent in your barrel if it fits and is dry. If it happens to get wet during the program, you can put it on the outside of the plastic bag still in your barrel or out in the canoe tied to something that floats. We also recommend to make sure that your poles are vertical to avoid punctures of the bags or tied to something that floats outside of the barrel. With most of your camping essentials that are bulky already packed, now is a great time to add your clothes, pushing them into the gaps in between the larger items so that they take up no additional space in the barrel and fill up any air gaps. If your hand is able to fit between some of those sections, some of the smaller parts of clothing should be able to fit again without taking any extra space up in the barrel. While you'll want the majority of your clothes kept dry in your main barrel, we do recommend that some items you may need at a minute's notice, like your rain jacket, are kept at an easy access spot within the canoe, like a day pack or dry bag. With your main camping equipment plus your clothing packed, now is the time to fit some of the smaller camping items such as your cook set, gas, and other smaller camp items or food that you will not be needing until camp or the next day, and closing up the inner waterproofing. To close off your backup waterproofing layers, gather up the plastic bags and twist them up. Do not make a knot in them, as it will potentially rip the bag when trying to be undone. Once you've fully rotated the bag, tuck it down the sides and repeat it with the next layer. Doing this ensures that if one bag gets a hole, the next one will not be affected, and each waterproofing layer is independent of the other. With both bags individually closed, this should make your interior waterproof even if water gets into the barrel. With the important items now sealed into your extra waterproofing, you can put in items such as your dry shoes for camp that may make your other gear dirty if they were put in with them without the plastic bags. You may also want to throw in some luxury items like a camp chair if you are unable to fit it inside your easy access bags and may want to get it out at a lunch break when you are off the water. While your barrel is a great place to store all of your essentials for camp that you won't need till the end of the day, we do recommend that you use other storage sources that are a little bit smaller and easier to keep close by for your easy access items, such as a day pack or a up to 20 litre dry bag. These storage solutions are awesome for storing those items that you might need at a minute's notice, like your food for the day, your head torch, your water, as well as making sure you have a first aid kit and a rain jacket, all easily accessible without needing to open up your waterproof barrel out on the river or needing to pull over in an emergency to get those items out. Now, while these solutions are really great for storing the bare essentials, it is worth mentioning that your canoe has a huge amount of space. Therefore, if you're wanting to bring additional items or some luxury items that you might not have brought otherwise, please check out our other video showing off the canoe that you'll be taking on your adventure to get a better gauge of what extras you might be able to bring to enjoy the luxuries while you're out on the river. But until then, we look forward to seeing you on arrival, and we'll see you then.